This is the story of a rocket that keeps getting more powerful, a space agency that keeps revising its deadlines, and one announcement, 4 words posted on social media, that has the entire aerospace world watching a patch of beach in South Texas. On March 7, 2026, Elon Musk posted on X, Starship V3 first flight in about 4 weeks. That's it. No press conference, no technical briefing. 4 words that kicked off a countdown to what SpaceX is calling the most powerful rocket ever assembled. And given what Starship already was before this upgrade, that is not a small claim. Starship is not a new program. It debuted in April 2023 and since then has completed 11 test flights. 5 of those happened in 2025 alone. The previous version, V2, was already the biggest and most powerful rocket ever to launch. It set that record, and V3 is designed to break it again. But here's what's changed. The core of the V3 upgrade is SpaceX's new Raptor 3 engine, and the numbers on this engine are genuinely striking. Raptor 1 produced 185 tons of thrust. Raptor 2 pushed that to 230 tons. Raptor 3 hits 280 tons, a 95-ton increase over just 2 generations of the same engine. But it's not just more powerful. It's lighter. Raptor 3 weighs 1,525 kilograms, making it 36% lighter than Raptor 1 and 7% lighter than Raptor 2. And it costs roughly 4 times less than its predecessor. Now multiply those weight savings across the full rocket stack. 33 Raptor 3 engines on the Super Heavy booster and 6 on the upper stage ship, and you're removing approximately 94,575 pounds of engine weight from the vehicle. That weight saving, combined with higher thrust, translates directly into more payload you can carry to orbit. One of the specific engineering breakthroughs in Raptor 3 is the elimination of the external engine heat shield entirely. Instead, the engine uses what's called integrated regenerative cooling. The engine essentially cools itself from within. Musk has described the engineering required to make this work as staggering, and it's one of the reasons Raptor 3 looks so different from its predecessors. There are fewer external components, fewer potential failure points, and a cleaner overall design. The vehicle itself is also slightly taller than V2, with a redesigned propellant system that engineers spent several days stress testing in what SpaceX calls a cryo-proof campaign, essentially filling a vehicle with super cold liquid and applying forces to mimic what it will experience in flight, including squeeze tests designed to replicate a future mid-air catch by the launch tower's mechanical arms. Something that hasn't received as much attention as the engine upgrades is the completion of Starbase's second launch pad and catch tower. This is a significant development. The original Mechazilla tower at Pad 1 has now caught the Super Heavy booster 3 times. The booster comes back to the launch site after separation and is grabbed out of the air by mechanical arms, one of the most audacious engineering demonstrations in spaceflight history. But the upper stage, the ship, has never been caught. It has always either been expended or lost. The completion of Starbase's second launch pad and catch tower is a significant development, but it's important to be precise about what it makes possible and when. The Super Heavy booster has been caught by the Mechazilla tower 3 times. The ship upper stage, however, has never been caught, and Flight 12 will not change that. Musk has been explicit. SpaceX will only attempt to catch the ship after 2 successful soft ocean landings first, specifically to ensure the risk of a breakup over land is acceptably low. Since the V3 ship has never flown before, those ocean landing prerequisites haven't been met. On Flight 12, the ship will splash down in the ocean, as it has on previous flights. The second pad extends SpaceX's operational capacity and brings a full ship catch closer, but that milestone is at minimum several flights away, not this one. Full reusability is the entire economic argument for Starship. Everything SpaceX is promising its customers, including NASA, depends on being able to fly the same hardware again and again at dramatically lower cost per launch. The most consequential customer watching this launch is NASA. In 2021, NASA awarded SpaceX a contract worth $4.3 billion to develop a crewed lunar lander version of Starship called the Human Landing System, or HLS. That contract has since grown by $253 million, roughly 6% since its original award. NASA's plan, called Artemis, is designed to return American astronauts to the moon. But on February 27, 2026, just 2 weeks before Musk's 4-week announcement, NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman announced a major restructuring of that plan. Artemis 3 is no longer a moon landing. It has been redefined as a low Earth orbit docking test, targeted for mid-2027. The first actual crewed lunar landing has been pushed to Artemis 4, now targeting early 2028. Isaacman's stated rationale was direct: we've got to get back to basics. NASA and Congress have collectively dedicated $6.9 billion to HLS development and are projecting $18.3 billion through 2030. That is an enormous commitment resting on Starship performing reliably enough to be trusted with crew. The pressure from NASA's own safety watchdogs is significant. NASA's Aerospace Safety Advisory Panel, an independent body, has stated that the HLS schedule could be years late and added that the next 6 months of Starship launches will be, in their words, telling about the likelihood of HLS flying crew in 2027 or by the end of the decade. On March 10, 2026, one day before Musk's 4-week announcement was circulating widely, NASA's Office of Inspector General released an audit of the HLS program. Its findings were blunt. Both SpaceX and Blue Origin, which is building its own competing Blue Moon lander, are behind their original target delivery dates due to technical and integration challenges. The OIG report also laid out specific milestones SpaceX still needs to hit: a critical design review in August 2026 and an uncrewed demonstration landing by the end of 2026. Neither has happened yet. And there are unresolved technical disagreements that go beyond schedules. Starship's crew compartment sits 35 meters above the lunar surface. Astronauts will use an elevator to reach the ground. That elevator is listed as a top risk and will not have been tested in the actual lunar environment before crew relies on it. There is also an open disagreement between NASA and SpaceX over whether SpaceX's automated landing system meets NASA's requirement that crew be able to take manual control, a capability used on every Apollo lunar landing. Perhaps most sobering, NASA evaluated the option of a rescue capability for astronauts if the lander became disabled on the lunar surface and determined the cost was prohibitive. There is currently no rescue plan. It would be incomplete to report Musk's announcement without noting his track record on Starship timelines. On January 26, 2026, Musk posted that Starship's next launch was in 6 weeks. 6 weeks from that date would have meant a launch by mid-March. It has not happened. On February 21st, he said V3 was slated to fly next month. We are now in that month. This is not a minor footnote. Publications covering the aerospace industry have noted the consistent gap between Musk's stated timelines and actual launch dates throughout the Starship program. The technical setbacks have been real, including a November 2025 incident in which the first V3 Super Heavy booster ruptured during ground pressure testing, forcing SpaceX to build a replacement booster before the program could continue. The new booster has since been rolled to Pod 2. Ship 39, the V3 upper stage, has completed its cryo-proof testing. Pod 2 activation testing was announced as beginning in the days following Musk's post.
There is also one remaining variable that SpaceX does not control: FAA launch license approval. That approval must come before Flight 12 can proceed, regardless of the rocket's readiness. Step back from the individual milestones and a clearer picture emerges of what's actually happening here. SpaceX is running one of the most compressed development cycles in the history of large rockets. 11 test flights in under 3 years, a complete engine redesign between generations, a second fully operational launch pad, the first architecture ever designed to catch both halves of an orbital-class rocket out of the air. The V3 upgrade is not incremental. An engine that produces 280 tons of thrust, weighs less than its predecessor, costs 4 times less to build, and eliminates the need for an external heat shield represents a genuine step change in propulsion engineering. The stakes around it are equally serious. NASA's lunar program, $18.3 billion in projected spending, and the first crewed moon landing since 1972 are all downstream of Starship proving itself reliable enough to carry people. The safety advisors are watching. The auditors are watching. The astronauts
astronauts assigned to Artemis are watching, and on a patch of beach in Boca Chica, Texas, a town that is now officially a city called Starbase, a rocket that has never flown before is sitting on a pad, waiting for a license and a launch window. Elon Musk says 4 weeks. The history of this program says treat that as a target, not a guarantee. But the hardware, by all available evidence, is further along than it has ever been. Flight 12 is coming. Whether it arrives in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, or 8, when it does launch, it will be the most powerful rocket humanity has ever sent off the ground. That's worth paying attention to. If you want to stay current on the Starship program as Flight 12 approaches, subscribe so you don't miss our launch day breakdown. And if you have questions about anything covered here, drop them in the comments.